This video covers PowerSDR ke9ns version 2.8.0.280 and all the features since the last video. So the first one is an FM data mode for all the different frequency deviations for FM. So let's first just go to show you what this does. 144.39, and this is the 2-meter APRS, which is FM data, and so you can see the FM data stream coming through. We're going to switch over. We're going to switch over to 5, and then turn this down. So you check this box over here, the data box. So that changes from just, in this case, 5 kilohertz deviation FM to 5 FM data, and that just turns off the emphasis, the pre and de-emphasis that FM normally has. So we're all set on that end, and you could use a program like Pinpoint APRS. I've got it on my web page how to set it up. So and sound modem, just minimize that, turn on the VAC, and so you can see the data's coming through, and we're gonna go to Tools, connect our TNC, and like, again, how to set this up is on my webpage. And I also, when I'm in this mode, I go to Vox. So we're gonna go transmit. We're gonna enable Vox. Oh, and then you can do view. We'll do the comms monitoring. So this is the data that's coming through, that's being detected by the sound modem. See, so the sound modem here is relaying this back over. It's using your local host IP address to relay it back to this program. But you can do some interesting things in here. I can send my position. Send my position beacon, a message, a bulletin. I can send send an email. So I could send a position beacon. And then right here, see, so it picked me up. It put me on the map because I was picked up by W9AUV. So I just transmitted under the 5 kilohertz deviation FM data. This is all that APRS data that's flowing through our area. So that's one thing. The next, let's get out of here. We'll go back to like 40 meters, and we'll go open the spotter. And on the spotter, let's enable. Let's turn on the LOTW. It's green. Now we're going to enable a spotter, and once this turns blue, and it has a legend there, so once it turns light blue, then you know it's ready. Now what happens is I've enabled the spotter, but spots haven't come through yet. Well, I can recall the last 20. Now it's going to pass it through all these filters, so you might lose some spots, but you can see they're coming in now. Now you can also, the spotter setting window up here, you can choose how the age of your spots, and I got it set for an hour here, but I think by default it's like 10 or 15 minutes, and then it'll take it off your list if it's older than a certain time. So you got to be careful about that. But it's parsing everything through all your settings that you got on here. So now it updated the list. It turns green. It's done. Now it's waiting to receive spots. In my case, I'm only getting North American spotters. I'm accepting CW phone and digital spots. So I'm accepting pretty much everything coming through. The next one is the call search box. So here I've got, if you were in a contest and you had 100 spots here on the list and you're looking for somebody's call, you can quickly type in the call in here. In this case, let's just pick CE3WB. So it would be C E3WB, and then click on call search, and it'll highlight it for you, so you can kind of see where they are on the list. So it's a quick thing. But the easier way to do it here is this call. And I moved it. It was in spotter settings, but now I have its own window here. And this pops open a red box, a message box, whenever somebody's call appears in the list. You'll get a pop-up box noting, so you can put some exotic call in there that you're looking for, or whatever, and whenever it comes up, it'll pop up. But you can also do things like 6. Now, basically, you might get some other calls in there, but it's let's say anything in California is going to come up now, because you just put a 6 in there, so any call that's got a 6 in it is going to come up. You could do partial calls. If I wanted a CE3, I could put CE3 in there, and then any CE3 would trigger this watch list. So that's another thing that we added. Then, going back to the main screen here, is we added a lock for the VFO, and that's because some programs that use cat commands don't quite work right. And so what it means is I can highlight this to be that it's going to transmit on this frequency here. Well, if I right click, that locks it. So now the only way that VFOA would ever be a transmit would be I have to manually click on it myself to release that once I lock it. I'm right clicking, when I first left click to highlight it and then right click to lock it. The only way to unlock it is to come back over here and do this. So that was part of satellite gpredict, this program I like for satellites, and you're running a full duplex in between, let's say, 70 centimeters and 2 meters. It didn't like the way PowerSDR ran. So certain satellites are going to be dual band, and I engage it, everything works fine. But the moment I start tracking, and I'm running, I open up my second receiver, it puts VFOA back as the transmit when I want to leave VFOB as the transmit. So that's what this is all about. It allows you to keep VFOB the transmit when you're running 2 receivers. The next update I made was, let me open up VAC1, and that is the transmit profile. When you get your transmit profile here, that it now will save your selection that you had for the VAC1. Because VAC1 now has 2 sets that you can use of virtual audio cables, and it'll actually remember that. It'll also remember these other settings over here about if you want to mix microphone audio with VAC audio. It remembers that part of the TX profile, as well as your drive max limit. So you can create a profile that's for low power applications. You can create a drive profile for digital modes. Different profiles, and it's going to save more things in the profile. And then the last thing I've added to this video was over here where you've got your time. It's UTC right now. If I click on that, I get uptime. Right now I'm getting uptime in days, hours, and minutes. You click it again, you get just total minutes of uptime, and then that turns it off. You click again, you get your local time, and back to UTC. So that's what I've added since the last video.